Yeah. Judge holds a hearing on DOJ's plans for Kilmar Obrego Garcia. Holding that DOJ. They're going to get rid of him. He's gone. They've already said that. He's gone. Out of here. That's what they've said. Where? We don't know.
What if he sneaks back in?
That's going to be a long flight from Sudan. We know where he's going. Oh, my Lord. A lot of people, the medical marijuana, the marijuana thing with John Rose, that is piss. I did not realize that there was that many weed smokers here on the old Chad Benson show, Lunchtime Fun Time.
Well, that's
what kind of people you run around with, Brother Chad?
Yeah.
That's not necessarily true because you don't smoke, you don't drink, you don't do any of that, but you're completely in favor of people being able to make their own choices.
I want to put it to a vote in the state. I think we should do that. We should do two things. Because I want to throw in with Matt and Cam for making it legal to have a raccoon in the state because you should be able to. But rabies, you don't go steal one out of the neighborhood. You can buy them. And they're inexpensive, and they've got all their shots, and they're fixed, so you have nothing to worry about. Duh. And secondly, if we put I guarantee you, we put marijuana on the ballot in this state, it will pass.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And they would never want that. And if we got all the signatures you can dream of, I can guarantee you they'll find a way to go. Sorry, guys, you guys didn't get it in. It had to be in at 11:52. No, it had to be in by noon. Nope. This 11:52, and you got it in at 11:50, so we can't allow it. They would come up because they don't want to know.
We can't let the people speak. They may say something we don't like.
Yes, we're doing this for them, guys. Ken Bell, I'm doing this for you to save you from yourselves. Ah! Oh, jeez. Goodness me. That interesting. The ruling today by the judge. Everybody's like, how can that be? Because it's not a loophole. The Supreme Court said, yeah, one judge can't go and say, you can't judge shop. So you can't be in, Tennessee and you don't like a law, and then you're going to go to to California to find the judges you guys want that's left, and vice versa. But the class action essentially is a whole bunch of people from all over the place in all the districts say, we'll do this, and then you go to a judge, and that one will rule on all of theirs, which is what happened. But the appeal is coming, and all of this is going to mean one thing. It's going to the Supreme Court, and that's where this is going to be solved. And until then, I think this thing's going to, they'll be battled out. They have 7 days, Ken, to file an appeal?
Yeah, 7 days.
Yeah, that would be... they'll get that. They'll file it, and then it'll go back and forth, and then they're going to have a hearing, and then, they'll go. I still, some days I feel like they're going to do away with birthright citizenship, and other days I feel like they're going to say, no, this is what it is, that we've spoken before about this, and we're going to leave it alone. So we shall see. There's no doubt, though, this is going to be something that is going to be a battle going forward. We were talking earlier before we went to break about how expensive melons are in Japan and all this wacky stuff. This today happened.
The unique original Birkin bag that fashion house Hermes made for actor and singer Jane Birkin is sold at auction in Paris for $8.2 million. The subsequent commercialized version of the bag went on to become one of the world's most exclusive luxury items, extravagantly priced with a years-long waiting list.
On TikTok, because it's fun, I don't know if you've ever seen this person who deals in Birkin bags. She buys them and sells them. Man, just the little itty-bitty bags cost my boyfriend, he bought it for me, but I don't like blue. We had to wait 8 months for it, and I got it and decided it didn't look good in it. What did he spend? He spent $32,000 on the Birkin bag. What the hell's... I've seen them. And again, I'm not impressed by stuff like that. I'm also not a car guy, so I don't get... But man, that's a lot of money for a bag. Now
$32,000.
So, or even the what do you do with an $8 million bag? That's it.
Put your keys in it?
No, you don't do anything with it. That's a piece of art. That's a piece of art. So the lady, the British-born actress, model, and fashion icon known for her effortless bohemian chic style, inspired the Hermes Birkin bag. She died in 2023. I'm fascinated. Man, we got to come up with something like that. It's like people who wear remember the Supreme T-shirts? And people would spend $1,000 on a T-shirt. I'm like, what the hell's wrong with you? It's a T-shirt.
And you're selling T-shirts on your website for like $20.
$20 delivered right to you. Right to you. And they're funnier than Supreme. I think the one we have up now is I want some more ice with my America.
Whatever happened to Pope and Ain't Easy?
I think that was up there for a while too. Pope and Ain't Easy. All kinds of stuff. So go to ChadBensonShow.com and check that out. But you want to know who's buying something for $8.2 million? Somebody who has more than $8.2 million. Because if that's your one role...
Yeah.
Oh, good God. It's like that person who bought the banana. Do you remember that?
Oh, the one that was taped to the canvas.
Taped to the wall. Yeah. That was insane.
That was just the ridiculousness of it, because the banana was going to rot and you're going to be left with a piece of tape sticking to blank canvas.
Somebody's all Supreme. I know Supreme has a history in the skateboard world, but skateboarders aren't buying Supreme. The Supreme was being bought by influencers because it's cool. We have no influence here. Everybody's like, why does Ken sound different? Ken's visiting his cousin, Oscar the Grouch. So he's in a trash can today. And that's why. No, he's still at home because his air conditioner are they fixing it? Are they there yet, Ken?
Haven't arrived yet, man.
Oh, my God.
Windows closing here in 45 minutes.
Oh, that is. So what happens? You get like a pizza? If they're not there within their time, do you get it free?
Yeah. I'm sure that they'll give us a coupon.
Hey, the next time this
they
happens,
get spoken of derogatively on the Chad Benson Show.
No, I trust these guys. They're pretty good.
So, yeah, they're going to give you. I like the joke about like getting a coupon, because they'll give you a coupon for something they just fixed that has like a 5-year warranty that you're never going to use again.
It'll be for some of those weird apples in Japan.
Oh, so I'm asking my uncle, I'm like, hey, Paul, what's that weird apple you guys buy that costs you so much money? Because some of these things, I don't know what the Japanese love that stuff, right? Well, I guess they just, it's the way that they're able to, like with Wagyu and with the Kobe beef, you know, we talk to it every day and we massage it and we give it a backstory. We want to know that when you eat this thing, it's great. It is. Yeah, they said, my uncle's like, oh, there's like so many of them because the Japanese make grapefruit. Thanks. That was a helper. A lot of you are chiming in about the marijuana. Man, the marijuana thing, though, that's a big deal for a lot of people. We should totally try to get it on the ballot. How many signatures do we need?
I don't know. Have to look that up.
That's a good one. Should we do it, folks? Should we try to get it on the ballot? That and go with Cam and them about and Matt about getting the raccoon to be the best pet you can buy. I would love that. I would. Now that we've got a new studio, I keep telling my wife I got to get something for the new studio. Maybe I'll get a raccoon. Trash Panda.
I'm not working in that thing with a raccoon.
You would love it. Why would you not? What do you think the raccoon's going to do to you?
Bother me.
No, you would look over it and you're like, that thing's stupid. And then within 20 minutes, you'd be hanging out every day with it. You're like, dude, can I take your raccoon?
You know what it's like trying to work on stuff with my 2 cats in the room?
Yeah, my cat in the morning. We have a routine. I get up at 2:30 or 3. He's in his giant bed that he has out there. And he looks at me. He meows, jumps down, goes over. I give him some food. And then for the next 4 hours, he meows through the door with his little paw. And then he'll come in and jump on my board as I'm doing my show.
Keyboard, yeah.
Crazy.
I'm no expert.
Yeah.
I'm no expert, but it says that in Tennessee, placing legalized marijuana on the ballot for a statewide vote would likely require a constitutional amendment. This means it would need to be approved by the state legislature first, then by a majority of voters. Good luck getting it through the legislature.
Yeah, no doubt. They're so uptight, man. They're butt puckers all the time. Somebody walks by with a vape. They're like, oh, God.
That person's going to die any second.
He just had a gummy. Which is so ridiculous. It is. What did somebody just say? Just say no? No, I don't care that people do it. No, here's my thing. I am a big believer that you as an adult should be allowed to make decisions for yourself as long as you're not hurting somebody else. That should, I don't know why that is such a crazy thing. And we're trying to make these decisions for other adults. Well, kids can get it. Kids can get it now.
The kids get a hold of alcohol, and we make that illegal for them to own or possess or use.
Yeah, kids get it now. My God, it's like
saying it's for the children is the mantra of the tyrant.
Oh, that is. It doesn't matter what it is, right? It's about the children. Well, really, because I never see the children ever benefit the way that everybody tells us it's going to benefit the children. Yeah, because if we do this, then they won't smoke weed. You promise? I've always said this. Okay, promise me that they'll never smoke weed or get their hands on it. And then if they do, then we move on and say it can be legal.
Well, remember when there was a constitutional amendment that just outright banned alcohol, and that worked out so well?
So well. So well. I'm watching, speaking of that, I'm watching, I don't know if you would love this, Ken, Empire Boardwalk. Have you seen it?
No, nah, that's not my jam.
I thought, well, you and me, and do we like our gangsters?
Oh, yes.
This is what it's about. It's Atlantic City, and it's about Prohibition starting. And it is great, and it's got the violence in it, and it's at the point where Al Capone is a nobody, and you got Lucky Luciano's like a 20-year-old snot-nosed kid, but it's about the going into Prohibition and how excited all of these guys were, and how even some of them got to the Temperance Society to get them to do this because they knew they'd make so much money if it was illegal.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like Empire Records or something.
No, that's a silly show.
Well, now that's something I definitely watch.
And it's got Steve Buscemi in it, who is just the best actor.
Fascinating. I am fascinated by organized crime.
I am too.
I just am. It's fascinating.
And you will then you'll love this. Because it's just after World War I, and it's all about the Prohibition. And the funny thing is, all the Prohibition, nobody stops drinking. Even the people who push for it, they don't stop drinking.
Right.
It's
Which
just
is how it
else.
usually works. It's like, I need to ban this for you, but I know how to handle it.
Yeah. Huh? There you go. That's it. I know how to handle it. I'm doing this for you. And now you'll have to live under the laws that I did for you, for betterment of your life. I'm going to live above it.
Because it's for the children.
Boardwalk Empire, not Empire Boardwalk. My bad. Sorry, Fletch. Boardwalk Empire.
Boardwalk
That's what it is.
Empire.
Check it out, dude. You will say, dude, thank you so much, Chad. That thing's amazing. It is incredible. I started watching it. I'll watch one episode. 4 episodes in yesterday. I was like, this is amazing.
All right, I'll check that out. But I still can't get over Helen Mirren as Maeve.
Oh, she's the worst.
In Mobland, man.
You watch that, you're like, I have a new hatred of Helen Mirren, and I love her.
Yeah.
She's awful in that. She's
Maeve
so
and
awful.
Conrad.
All of the other mobsters in that, you're like, you're nowhere near as horrible as she is.
And she may have scared Al Capone.
Yeah. Totally. You're right. That's how brutal she is in this. And it's all in her mind and her back dealings. That's a great show. Coming up, we got other stuff to talk about today. Sharks everywhere. Talk a little bit about maybe some Epstein stuff, too. We had Congressman Rose on earlier. We'll talk a little bit about some of the stuff he said as I wish I would have had him in longer, and I wish I had him in studio. But we're going to try to get everybody on who's running for something fun, something real. Dog catcher, if you're running for that, let us know. Let Bell know. We'll try to get you in for 5 minutes. It'll be fun to do that. It is the Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7. Are you seeing this guy, Bell, or gal, 5143, talking about the weed? Libertarian, do what you want as long as you don't hurt someone until they land in the hospital. Society has to pick up a $500,000 bill for stupid behavior. And then they go on to talk about lung cancer, liver cirrhosis, substance abuse, driving while impaired, STDs, HIVs, and so on. And I'm thinking to myself, how did you go from somebody taking a gummy or, waking and bacon to you got HIV and cirrhosis of the liver because you smoke weed?
Well, it's a gateway drug. It's going to lead to not only other drugs, but every disease in the world.
And
in the world.
And it's like, oh, man, yeah, my buddy took so many gummies, he's got cirrhosis of the liver. No, really? No. His back hurts because he slept for 12 hours. It's a fear.
It's just another way of saying I need to be able to control other people.
Yeah, it's a fear thing. I mean, that's a lot of what it is. There's a fear factor in there because they've been told that, and I will tell you guys this before everybody goes, well, what do you know? Let me tell you, my dad died of a drug overdose. I mean, when I mean my dad did every drug you could think of, and my dad, the kind of partying that he did, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, yeah, the adrenaline gland, those kind of things, yeah, like that's, and he's telling me, never do a drug. He showed me never to do a drug. My mother was an alcoholic, but I've never had a drink in my life, never tasted a drug in my life. Never. I don't even like taking aspirin. I've got a cold now, and I won't even take Dayquil or NyQuil.
Hey, you are a teetotaler.
Yeah.
People are all into freedom. They love it as long as it's the type and amount that they think is okay.
Yeah. It's the freedom that makes them feel good.
I'm telling you, boys, I just think that money is the biggest issue with marijuana.
100%.
Everything comes down to money, man.
Yeah.
If the right people start making it,
that's it. Like if today, Purdue Pharma came out or one of them, and they're like, we've got this great weed that's, all of these things, and you watch what would happen to it. It would be they would change their tune. And you've got to give to the right people and the right areas. And the other part of it is go and look at the amount of people that are in jail and have had their lives because they were dealing a little bit of pot when they were 21 and they spent 20 years in jail over something ridiculous. And the government's not good at saying, I'm sorry. They're not.
They don't say I'm sorry. They say qualified immunity.
Qualified immunity. That's right. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. It's personal responsibility. It's a damn good thing. And more people should want that. And both sides, they're really the same. They just dress up a little different, Most of these people, by the way, and I know and have met a lot of politicians, if they had a chance to switch parties and keep their job or stay in the party and lose their job, they'd switch because they like the stuff and the lifestyle for a lot of these people. But I'm telling you, you're right, Ken, man. It's the money. I've always said the minute they get a lobbying group that's powerful enough,
right,
it'll be successful.
And
that's when things change.
Yep.
And the black market will always exist if you make something illegal. Always.
No, it won't, Bell. They did prohibition in the 1920s, and nobody had a drink for years.
Al Capone got rich off of that.
He did? No. Were there people that were shot?
And there was a whole bunch of people that got dead on Valentine's Day.
That's right. Except for the guy they wanted. He wasn't there.
But the FBI did poison about 10,000 barrels of liquor and killed people.
Yeah. More people die of sugar. That's true.
That is true.
I mean, go and look. I mean, go look at all the heart disease. That isn't because of smoking weed. Is it? No. Well, according to some people, it might be. Coming up, some other stuff people asking about. The Rose interview was interesting. We'll touch a little bit about that. Epstein stuff, because now you got Marjorie Taylor Greene coming out, and she's not happy. And I said earlier to some people, don't think of it as a supporter of Trump. Think about the people that helped Trump truly along the way, that were not supporters but influencers who feel like they're being sold a bill of goods, and how that affects them. Because if your reputation got hurt, that hurts you. So talk a bit about that as well and a bunch of other good things. It is Chad Benson Show. So we talk 99.7. Battle, wow, wow. So, Bell, okay, I just, you were telling me something because I was trying to read this text and I'm like, who said this? People scrounging for food, eating pets, murdering people for a glass of wine. Now, what was that about?
The texter had said that, we've only had wine available in grocery stores for about 10 years now. And every prediction I said, yeah, and that's what turned Tennessee into a desolate apocalypse, with people scrounging for food, eating pets, and murdering other people for a glass of wine. Nothing bad that was predicted when wine was allowed to be sold in grocery stores happened.
So what did they say was going to happen?
It was okay to sell beer in grocery stores, but you couldn't sell wine.
Could you sell hard liquor in grocery stores?
No, I don't believe you can.
What was the wine? But you can buy hard liquor.
Oh,
you go to a liquor store.
Yeah.
Sorry, I can't buy my wine here where I buy my meats. I have to go across the street where I can buy lottery tickets and wine and other booze.
Might make me more drunk.
What was the reasoning that was wine seductive inside of the store? I was like, man, I was looking at those hot dog buns, but the wine's been calling me.
I have to choose between the two.
It's so bizarre. I love the dire the world's coming. And the thing that people say, well, look at what happens in California. California is the worst example of everybody goes right to that because California stopped doing anything. The laws they put in place to decriminalize stuff, they didn't even follow those laws. They just said, nah, we don't care. So that's not a good example. Portugal, by the way, is gorgeous. It's amazing. Portugal, everything's legal. But you don't get to do it on the streets. You don't get to do any of those things. None of that stuff. There are rules.
You can't sell it to a 15-year-old.
No, because they were adults, and they're like, this is how life should be. Adults will be able to do adult things, but they're not doing them out here. And, it's just... Oh, man.
And if there's bad repercussions from one of your personal decisions, that's on you.
That's on you, which, again, is it's a wonderful thing, having the opportunity to... And I'm not saying bad things can't happen because people don't do stupid things. We all know they do.
People do stupid things now and bad things happen now. It's not... that's not a reason to limit people's freedom.
No. Everybody's it was the liquor stores that didn't want the wine sold. Well, yeah, of course that. I mean, we all understand, that's insanity that they're always doing. By the way, it's the pharmaceutical companies that don't want weed. If they came up with a weed today that you could take as a gummy that would fix your whatever, pharmaceutical companies would do everything in the world to bury it and make sure it never came out.
I think Sally has a good point, too. It's, kids normally are bugging their parents to buy a certain sugary cereal when they're in the grocery store. And when wine went into the grocery store, then suddenly little Johnny, 8 years old, is just begging for that Cabernet.
Oh, that's right. It's like tricks, right?
I remember in New Mexico, we could buy liquor in convenience stores.
Yeah. It's
the ATF should be a convenience store.
Yeah, it was behind the clerk, but you could buy it there.
Yeah. That's just, I know. I've been, Utah is one of those places. Have you been to Utah where it's like, yeah, you can only buy a certain thing at a certain time and it can only go, it was, they've got, because of the Mormons, the power, they got all this stuff.
Yeah.
And
Space Mormons or regular Mormons?
Regular Mormons. Space Mormons don't care because they're too busy with their thetans, fighting it off with their DC-10s or 9s or whatever it is, flying over the giant volcanoes. Don't sue us. Speaking of suing and lawsuits and anger, people are pissed about this whole Epstein thing.
Well, we have photographs of Ehud Barak, the prime minister of Israel, and the head of one of the Mossad agencies going in and out of his house. We have those. There's photos, right? Yep. So stop telling us to not believe our eyes and ears. On this program, Congresswoman Alan Dershowitz said he brought Jeffrey Epstein to Israel to meet with high-level government officials. He told me that. I couldn't believe it when he told me, but he said, yeah, totally, he could have been Mossad. And we know Ghislaine Maxwell's. It was Ghislaine Maxwell's.
Can't go to Israel and meet with high-level officials, right? So exactly why was Jeffrey Epstein?
So I'm not again, the picture that's being painted here is pretty clear picture is that Jeffrey Epstein belonged to Intel. Now, we have an interesting little nugget out this morning where Data Republican was able to find that he was a CIA agent. He bragged about it openly. And it's in print from about 25 years ago. The Evening Standard wrote up a profile of Epstein. And he was bragging about being a CIA agent then. And
I talked about it earlier. You go back 2021, great article in BuzzFeed. Leopold, I think Jason Leopold did this great article about all the CIA people who were caught with child porn, doing things, and because they were CIA or they belonged to intelligence, they did nothing. They only got, out of the 14, one of them was tried, and not because of the child porn or any of the other stuff. It was because he handled classified information wrong. That's why. And, you know, everybody's like, why does this matter? In the overall scheme of things, it doesn't matter because you didn't know Jeffrey Epstein. But it's about trust. And it's about being transparent. And you want us to believe all the stuff, and we're doing this and we're doing that. We're going after these people and doing those kind of things. Well, we don't have trust in our government anymore. And we lost a lot of that during COVID, which is understandable. But there's a lot of people that don't trust anything about the government and never have. And Dershowitz was coming out today saying, look, I've seen the list. Don't tell me there's no list.
This is not an opinion. This is a fact. I have seen, remember, I was accused falsely on the Epstein, and ultimately I was completely cleared. The woman admitted that she may have mistook me for somebody else and withdrew all of her lawsuits. And so from day one, from the day I was accused, I said I want every document out because I knew every document would prove I was innocent. So let me tell you, I know for a fact documents are being suppressed. And they're being suppressed to protect individuals. I know the names of the individuals. I know why they're being suppressed. I know who's suppressing them. But I'm bound by confidentiality from a judge and cases, and I can't disclose what I know. But I hand to God, I know the names of people whose files are being suppressed in order to protect them. And that's wrong.
It's wrong. I think we recognize that. But I think America's a lot more involved than people realize. And if you don't want to release these, then tell everybody, look, the stuff in here is sensitive. That's it. It's in a major sensitive way, and it's being dealt with behind closed doors. But the reason, other than just coming out and saying there's nothing, but believe us for the rest of the stuff. How about JFK? How about RFK? How about MLK? All of the Ks, everybody's waiting for them. Nothing has happened with those. And the stuff that has come out, there's still some redacted. There's still a bit of this, or this one's being held back. Why is that?
Just out of curiosity, without names, are these politicians, business leaders, both?
They're everything. And let me tell you, a lot of them are, at least one of them is somebody who was accused. Others are accusers. And the judges have said, if somebody calls themselves a victim, we're not going to give any information about them. But they may not be victims. They may be perpetrators. So we don't have information about false accusers. And we know there have been many false accusers who have accused innocent people for money. And those records are being deliberately, willfully suppressed. And they shouldn't be suppressed. If the accusation is allowed out, so should the material that diminishes the credibility of the accuser. We want total transparency on this. Every single document, no redaction. That's what I've said from day one. I waive any of my rights of privacy. Anything there is about me, I'm happy because it will be exculpatory, because I know I haven't touched a woman other than my wife from the day I met Jeffrey Epstein. I don't even hug people, but I was falsely accused and I was able to prove it.
Dan.
And I was able to prove it through documents. And I want other people to be able to disprove false accusations through documents. But these documents are being suppressed and withheld.
But believe us. And that's the thing. You know, they come out and they're like, we're going after Comey and we're going after all these people, but you should believe us. We're really going to get them and they're really bad people. It's hard to believe. If
This time it's going to be different.
This time it's going to be different. You know what it is? It's Lucy with the football. It's Lucy with the football. And the sad thing is a lot of people are going to jump on and it doesn't affect me, so I don't care. It's not about this. It's the next thing and the next thing. Because once they can figure out, okay, we can do anything we want, they'll continue to do anything they want. We don't have to tell them this. Screw them. We don't have to tell them that. We don't have to do this. We don't have to do that. And when I hear the thing I hear is, oh, some of these people were just acquaintances or they had lunch, so we can't release it. That's so ridiculous. That is so ridiculous to think that, Jeffrey Epstein met a ton of people in the circles that he traveled in that had nothing to do with any of this stuff. But having lunch with him didn't mean that you went to his island and diddled a kid. But we're not adult enough to make that up because there were people that did it. Maybe. Because if not, why is she in jail? Should we hashtag free her? You trafficked underage women to nobody. That seems odd. Just throwing that out there. Coming up, Matt Murphy, the Murph Dog's going to come on in here. He and I did, and Chris, and I think Dan too, we had to go do a filming today. We'll see how his filming went. See if he did any action moves with his shoulder. We'll talk to him straight ahead as we wrap up today's show. It is the Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7. Never be legal. We were talking about the gateway drugs, and you brought up caffeine, and I said, if they discovered caffeine today, it would never be legal.
Yeah, it would be hard. Caffeine, nicotine.
Yeah, any of that stuff.
Well, it would be legal so long as you routed it through the pharmaceutical industry so that the pharmaceutical industry could make, a lot of money on it.
Weed can be decriminalized, I'm sure, at a federal level. I think that may or may not happen. Who knows with Trump? But I do know this. If it's ever going to be legal, the pharmaceutical companies are going to have to be the big dealers.
Or the government.
Right?
I mean, which is why the government looks the other way on alcohol, because the government makes so much damn money on alcohol.
They do. They make a ton.
But at the same time, the alcohol is such where the distribution of alcohol is very, very difficult in wholesale distribution if you and I wanted to do it in our backyard.
Oh, of course.
Right? So where marijuana is a little bit different is if you and I want to grow a bunch of plants in our backyard, a lot easier.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not growing Oxycontin in our backyard. Right. How's that working out for you?
Right. So, I've long said I've been very much a libertarian mindset on this type of stuff. And I find it interesting where people draw their line. Oh, well, marijuana is a gateway drug.
Yeah, that's always the number one thing.
Well, you know what? Hydrocodone is a gateway drug.
Yeah.
But you allow hydrocodone. Why do you allow hydrocodone?
Yeah.
I mean, because it is obviously led to OxyContin's a gateway drug.
Yeah. People don't start with fentanyl. They start with their knee. Nobody's knee got hurt. They smoked a bit of weed, and then 2 days later, they couldn't get weed from their dealer, and the next thing you know, they're shooting up fentanyl. It starts with the OxyContin and all those kind of things.
And conversely, I have a buddy in Birmingham who, and I don't think he would mind me telling this story, he has very real and significant lower back pain to the point that it is debilitating. And he would go to pain management and he would get issued oxy-based pain pills. And in the crackdown of OxyContin, in the aftermath of the overprescriptions of OxyContin, it got to be such a pain in the ass. He had to go every week, and they would take his pills, and they would dump out his pills, and they would count his pills, and all this crap. And Jim just eventually said to hell with it, and he said, I went back to my drug dealer and got pot. And he goes, I don't want to break the law. I don't want to engage in illegal activity, but pot alleviates my pain in such a way, and I don't have to deal with this other crap every single week.
Yeah,
taking 2 hours out of my day to do this and they're treating me like a 6-year-old. Nah, no thanks. I'll smoke
because
pot.
You're
driving people to the black market.
Yeah, and why is that? Because the Sackler family in particular, you guys handed it out like candy, lied to everybody that it was never addictive, and do you know how many stories I've heard about my friend's wife? Man, he's a big-time lawyer. She started popping some pills because her back hurt or something like that. I remember, I think she might have a hysterectomy or something. Within 3 months, he's never seen her again. She disappeared.
Holy moly.
She ran off with some dude, and she disappeared, left him with the kids.
It's funny, though, that Matt's actually proving that marijuana isn't the gateway drug because it was another drug that led him to go get marijuana.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
But your story is like the realest story out there. I mean, everybody goes to the most extremes, but fentanyl, when everybody talks about fentanyl, we have a consumption problem, but that was driven by big pharmas handing out these things like candy.
Right. They started it.
Yeah.
And they shut off the supply. The dealer went dark, and the people that became addicted still wanted the stuff, and so they went to the black market, and that's where fentanyl became a thing.
Yeah. Big
Only
time.
in the last 20 years has it become a thing,
Yeah.
even maybe even the last 10 years.
And then, you see these people who do end up dying, kids who will take the one pill can kill. Well, that's because they were, they thought they were getting an Adderall. They weren't looking for an Oxy. And the next thing you know, it's laced with fentanyl and it's over. But it all starts with the fact that we handed these things out for years, these big pharma, like candy, and then told everybody, it's not addictive.
I'm fine with legalize it, regulate it, structure it in such a way where you know what you're getting when you buy it, and tax the stuff and be done with it.
Be done with it. Be done with it. So I hear you're talking about chickens.
I'm talking about chickens today. So we brought this up in the last half of the show yesterday, and it hit hard enough that I thought that I would readdress it because I'm very curious where the audience is on this. Like, where do you draw your line on where government's allowed to interfere in your daily life? Because in Chattanooga, Tennessee, there is currently an ordinance on the books where you have to own 2 or more acres of property in order to own chickens on your residential property. And there is a solution to this that would eliminate that ordinance and say, however much property you can have chickens.
Yeah.
If you have a residence, you can have chickens. And people are freaking out. Freaking out that their next door neighbor might have a chicken.
People draw the line at where big government needs to come in when it benefits their neighbors and annoys them.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're worried about the rooster situation.
Yeah.
A lot of roosters crowing in 5 o'clock in the morning. That's pretty good chicken. It's my favorite line in any Woody Allen movie. Sleeper.
Great movie.
He's running through the field and he looks at me. That's a big chicken.
That is a big chicken. And speaking of big chickens, the big man is straight ahead, the bull himself. Matt Murphy, you guys have a good one. We'll do it again tomorrow.